Doubt is not a dead end. It's the doorway to discovering who you truly are. Life whispers before it shouts, and our doubts often hold hidden messages pointing us toward the direction we fear most, but need the most. Challenges are invitations to rise, not proof that we are unworthy or incapable. Determination grows through decisions, not perfection. Each choice to keep going strengthens the foundation of your future. Your story holds power, especially the parts you once tried to hide. They become the fuel that drives your transformation. Faith in yourself must be practiced. Especially when the world is quiet and no one is clapping for you yet. You stop negotiating with your fears, your life shifts, path clears, and your determination becomes unshakable. There comes a moment in every life when doubt feels louder than possibility. When you look at the road ahead and wonder whether strength like yours is enough for mountains like these. I know that moment well. It arrives quietly at first, slipping into your thoughts like a soft whisper. Maybe I can't, maybe I'm not ready, maybe I'm not meant for this. But here's the truth we often forget. Doubt shows up not because you are weak, but because you are standing at the edge of something powerful. Doubt is the shadow born from the light of your potential. It only exists because something inside you is trying to grow. Life has its own way of testing us, not to break us, but to reveal us. And sometimes the revelation is uncomfortable. Sometimes it looks like failure, disappointment, loss, or confusion. Sometimes it looks like starting over again and again until you discover the courage you didn't know you had. But every test you face is shaping the person you are becoming. When I learned to listen to myself deeply, to the quiet voice beneath the noise, I realized something. Changing doubt is not the enemy. Doubt is the teacher. It shows you where faith is needed. It shows you the parts of your story still waiting to be healed. It shows you the strength you haven't tapped into yet. But determination, that is a choice. It doesn't fall from the sky. It doesn't arrive when life becomes easier or when people finally believe in you. Determination begins when you choose to believe in yourself even when the evidence is still cloudy. It begins the moment you decide that your purpose matters more than your fear. There will be days when you walk alone, days when support is silent, days when the path feels too slow, too heavy, too painful. But those are the days that shape champions. Those are the days that sculpt greatness, not in the spotlight, but in the quiet corners of your life where no one sees your struggle, but everyone will one day witness your result. Very person you admire, every story of triumph you've heard began with someone who once doubted themselves. The difference is not that they knew everything, and is not that the path was easy. The difference is that they kept going. They made a decision, and one decision followed by another becomes determination. You have that power inside you right now. The power to rise again, the power to rewrite your direction, the power to turn every "I'm not sure" into "watch me." So if you are standing at the edge of your own uncertainty today, take a breath. Look at where you've been. Look at what you survived. Look at the strength that brought you here. Your doubt may question you, but your determination will define you. And one day, sooner than you think, you will look back and say to yourself, I didn't just make it through, I transformed, I grew, and I became the version of myself I once didn't believe I could be. This is your time. This is your season. This is your shift from doubt to determination. And nothing can stop you now. Every journey begins in uncertainty, and the first steps often feel shaky because the ground beneath you does not yet feel familiar or safe. When doubt rises inside you, it can feel like a fog drifting across your path, making everything unclear and causing you to question your own strength. You look ahead and wonder if the road is too long, or the mountain too high, or the dream too far away. You wonder if your heart can carry the weight of what you want or if your courage is enough to face the unknown. These thoughts create a quiet storm within you, and for a moment you start believing that doubt is a signal to stop. But doubt is not an ending. Doubt is simply the invitation to discover who you truly are. It is the first doorway that stands between the person you have been and the person you are becoming. It tests your desire. It challenges your belief. It confronts your comfort. And in doing so, it pushes you toward a deeper truth about yourself. When you stand at the beginning of any journey, you are not meant to know everything. You are not meant to feel fully ready. Growth does not bloom in certainty. Growth blooms in the spaces where your heart races and your hands shake and you step forward anyway. It is in these moments that your character begins to form. It is in these moments that your inner strength awakens little by little, breath by breath, choice by choice. Every uncertain step teaches you something about your resilience and your endurance and your ability to move forward even when fear tries to convince you that stillness is safer. Uncertainty is a natural part of rising. It is the soil in which confidence is planted. You do not become strong because everything feels perfect. You become strong because you face the places where you once felt weak. Doubt is not there to break you. It is there to show you the inner muscles you have not yet used. It is there to make you question the old patterns that held you. Uncertainty is a natural part of rising. It is the soil in which confidence is planted. You do not become strong because everything feels perfect. You become strong because you face the places where you once felt weak. Doubt is not there to break you. It is there to show you the inner muscles you have not yet used. It is there to make you question the old patterns that held you back. It is there to make you look inward and find the voice that's yes when everything around you whispers no. As you continue walking, you begin to notice something profound. The more you move, the more the fog lifts. The more you choose to step forward, the more clarity fills your path. Uncertainty begins to loosen its grip and determination begins to rise. You realize that doubt was never a sign of inadequacy. It was a sign of possibility. It was proof that you were touching the edge of something new and powerful. It was evidence that you were stepping into a space you had not explored before. And anything unfamiliar will always feel uncomfortable at first. This discomfort is not a warning. It is a signal of growth. It tells you that you are expanding. It tells you that you are leaving behind the older, smaller version of yourself. It tells you that you are stepping into a life that requires more courage, more belief, more intention. The uncertainty you feel is simply the distance between who you are and who you are meant to be. You close the distance through action, through heart, through the willingness to keep going. Every journey begins in uncertainty, but that uncertainty holds the seeds of your future strength. Doubt may shake you, but it cannot define you. What defines you is the choice to walk forward even when the path is unclear. What defines you is the courage to rise even when fear tries to pull you back. What defines you is the determination that grows each time you decide to trust yourself, even when you are still learning how. Life whispers before it shouts, and those whispers often come wrapped in doubt, hesitation, and the quiet feeling that you are being pulled towards something unfamiliar yet meaningful. These soft signals are easy to ignore because they do not arrive with clarity or certainty. They arrive as subtle nudges in your chest, a thought that will not leave you alone, a dream that keeps returning to you even when you try to push it away, or a discomfort that grows each time you pretend where you are satisfied staying where you are. These whispers are gentle but persistent, and within them lives the truth of what your life is trying to become. They are not loud because the heart rarely speaks in noise. It speaks in sensation, intuition, restlessness, longing, and the quiet awareness that something in your life is asking for more. Doubt is often the first sign that something important is rising within you. It does not show up to block your path. It shows up to reveal the path. It highlights the direction you fear most because that direction holds the most potential for your growth. Every time you feel resistance toward a dream or a decision or a change, you must understand that the resistance is not a stop sign. It is a message. It is your inner world telling you that the thing you fear has the power to shape you. The things you avoid are often the very things that will free you. The places where you hesitate are the places where transformation is waiting. Life whispers to guide you, not to confuse you, but because true guidance comes from within and the voice within speaks softly at first. It asks you to pay attention. It asks you to pause long enough to hear what your deeper self has been trying to say. But when you ignore the whispers, they do not disappear. They grow louder through discomfort, through frustration, through misalignment, through the feeling that you were living beneath your potential. And if you continue, whispers to guide you, not to confuse you, but because true guidance comes from within and the voice within speaks softly at first. It asks you to pay attention. It asks you to pause long enough to hear what your deeper self has been trying to say. But when you ignore the whispers, they do not disappear. They grow louder through discomfort, through frustration, through misalignment, through the feeling that you are living beneath your potential. And if you continue to ignore them, life will eventually shout. It will push you into situations where you have no choice to but confront what you have been avoiding. The whisper of doubt is a sign that there is a path you have not walked yet, tread yet, a purpose you have not fully discovered, not yet a strength you embraced yet. It asks you to look closer at the dreams that scare you because those are the dreams that matter. It asks you to trust the pull you feel even when you cannot see the full picture. It asks you to believe that something inside you knows where you belong even before your mind understands how to get there. When you learn to listen to these whispers, you begin your life has been guiding you all along. The coincidences that feel too perfect, the opportunities that appear unexpectedly, the people who show up at the right time, the ideas that keep coming back, all of these are part of the whisper. They push you gently toward a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your truth. Listening to life's whispers requires courage because they often point to the places where you are afraid to go. They reveal the dreams you feel unworthy of the risks. You think you cannot handle the changes that feel too overwhelming. But if you silence every whisper, you silence your potential. You silence your calling. You silence the part of you that is longing to live a bigger story. Every great transformation begins with a whisper. Every dream begins with a quiet pull. Every shift begins with a small inner voice saying this is the direction. Trust it. Honor it. Let it guide you, because when you stop running from the whispers, life no longer has to shout, and you finally step into the path that was meant for you all along. Challenges are invitations to rise, not proof that you are unworthy or incapable. Every difficult moment, every setback, every unexpected turn in your path is a call for you to meet a deeper version of yourself. When life places an obstacle before you, it is not declaring that you cannot succeed. It is asking you to discover the strength that has been waiting beneath the surface of your fears. The struggle you face today is shaping a capacity within you that would not grow in comfort or ease. It is refining your courage. It is sharpening your focus. It is preparing you for the places your future will require you to stand. When a storm enters your life, it often arrives with fear and uncertainty. You wonder why this is happening and how you will endure it. But storms do not come to destroy your spirit. They come to reveal it. They strip away the illusions you once held about who you thought you were, and they expose the truth of who you can become. In the middle of difficulty, you meet your resilience. In the middle of pressure, you meet your bravery. In the middle of pain, you meet the part of you that refuses to break. Every challenge contains a lesson that can guide your growth. Sometimes the lesson is patience. Sometimes it is faith. Sometimes it is learning to trust yourself when you feel lost. And sometimes it is discovering that you are far stronger than you ever believed. These lessons are not taught in the quiet, peaceful moments of life. They emerge in the moments when you feel stretched, pulled, shaken, and transformed. They emerge in the moments when you must choose to rise. Do not understand it. It grows when you decide that your potential deserves to be honored, not hidden. Every decision you make carries weight. Some decisions will be small, like choosing discipline over distraction or choosing honesty over avoidance. Others will be larger, like walking away from what no longer aligns with who you are becoming or stepping into opportunities that stretch your limits. Yet each decision, regardless of size, strengthens your determination. With every choice you make in the direction of your growth, you create momentum. And momentum is the quiet force that transforms doubt into progress and progress into power. Determination is not found in grand gestures. It is built in the everyday choices that often go unnoticed. It is built when you wake up early to make room for your goals. It is built when you stay committed even when no one is watching. It is built when you speak kindly to yourself on the days you feel discouraged. It is built when you take responsibility for your future instead of waiting for someone to hand you permission. These small choices create a pattern, and that pattern becomes your strength. There will be moments when you question yourself. Moments when failure makes you wonder if you made the wrong decision, or moments when criticism makes you doubt the path you chose. But you must remember that determination does not mean never stumbling. It means rising every time you do. It means understanding that mistakes are not proof of weakness. They are proof that you are trying. And trying is the birthplace of growth. Life is constantly asking you, who do you want to become? And every decision is your answer. If you choose courage, determination grows. If you choose resilience, determination grows. If you choose self-belief, determination grows. The more you choose, the stronger you become, and before long, determination stops being an effort and becomes a natural part of who you are. So do not for perfection. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for certainty. Make the decisions that align with the life you want to create. Make them boldly. Make them consistently. Make them with the understanding that at every choice you make is shaping your destiny. Determination does not arrive fully formed. It grows through every decision you are brave enough to make. Your story holds power, especially the parts you once tried to hide, because those are the pieces that shaped you whether you realized it at the time or not. Every moment of doubt, every painful chapter, every quiet struggle, every disappointment, every small victory became a line in the story of who you are today. Most people believe their story only matters when it is polished or triumphant, but the truth is that the chapters you felt ashamed of are the ones that taught you the most. They carved your character. They strengthened your intuition. They uncovered your resilience. They showed you what you could survive and what you could rise from. And that is where your power lies, not in the perfect moments, but in the moments when you had every reason to quit and still chose to continue. There is a point in every life when you think your story is too broken, too messy, too complicated to be of any value. You think no one will understand what you went through, or you fear that rising does not mean pretending everything is fine. It does not mean ignoring your emotions. It means choosing not to be defined by the difficulty. It means just deciding that you will continue to move forward even if you are moving slowly. It means allowing the challenge to awaken a new fire inside you. A fire that says, I am still here, I am still capable. I am still worthy of the life I desire. You may not always feel ready. You may not always feel strong. But readiness is not required for growth. What is required is willingness, a willingness to learn, a willingness to adapt, a willingness to believe that every challenge contains a seed of transformation. If you plant that seed with intention, effort, it will grow into wisdom, confidence, and power. There will be times when you feel tired of fighting, times when the path feels unfair or too heavy. But remember that everything you are facing is building something within you, something that will serve you later in ways you cannot yet see. Challenges are shaping your character. They are carving out your purpose. They are strengthening the foundation of the life you are becoming. So when difficulty knocks on your door, do not shrink back, stand tall. Listen to what it is asking you to become. Let it teach you. Let it stretch you. Let it strengthen you. Because every challenge that enters your life is simply an invitation for you to rise into your greatest self. Determination grows through decisions, not perfection. And the truth is that your life begins to change the moment you stop waiting to feel completely ready. You do not become determined by wishing for strength or hoping for confidence. You become determined by choosing again and again to move forward, even when the path is uncertain, even when fear is loud, even when the past still echoes is in your mind. Every decision you make becomes a brick in the foundation of your future. Every time you say yes to growth and no to excuses, you shape the person you are becoming. Determination is not born from flawless execution. It is born from consistent willingness. So many people wait for the perfect moment to begin. They wait until the fear disappears and till the timing feels right, until every answer is clear and every step is mapped out. But life does not reward hesitation. Life rewards courage. It rewards the ones who take imperfect action. It rewards the ones who choose to trust their inner voice, even when their outer world has not yet caught up. Perfection is a myth that steals time. It convinces you that you must wait, but determination whispers, start where you are. The truth is that every powerful transformation begins with a simple decision. The decision to stop listening to the doubts that have kept you small. The decision to stop letting fear dictate your future. The decision to stop treating your dreams as if they are fragile or optional. Determination grows when you decide that your goals matter enough to be pursued even when the journey is uncomfortable. It grows when you decide that your purpose is worth protecting even when others do not understand it. It grows when you decide that your potential deserves to be honored, not hidden. Every decision you make carries weight. Some decisions will be small, like choosing discipline over distraction or choosing honesty over avoidance. Others will be larger, like walking away from what no longer aligns with who you are becoming or stepping into opportunities that stretch your limits. Yet each decision, regardless of size, strengthens your determination. With every choice you make in the direction of your growth, you create momentum. And momentum is the quiet force that transforms doubt into progress and progress into power. Determination is not found in grand gestures. It is built in the everyday choices that often go unnoticed. It is built when you wake up early to make room for your goals. It is built when you stay committed even when no one is watching. It is built when you speak kindly to yourself on the days you feel discouraged. It is built when you take responsibility for your future instead of waiting for someone to hand you permission. These small choices create a pattern, and that pattern becomes your strength. There will be moments when you question yourself, moments when failure makes you wonder if you made the wrong decision, or moments when criticism makes you doubt the path you chose. But you must remember that determination does not mean never stumbling. It means rising every time you do. It means understanding that mistakes are not proof of weakness. They are proof that you are trying. And trying is the birthplace of growth. Life is constantly asking you, who do you want to become? And every decision is your answer. If you choose courage, determination grows. If you choose resilience, determination grows. If you choose self-belief, determination grows. The more you choose, the stronger you become, and before long, determination stops being an effort and becomes a natural part of who you are, have. So do not for perfection. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for certainty. Make the decisions that align with the life you want to create. Make them boldly. Make them consistently. Make them with the understanding that at every choice you make is shaping your destiny. Determination does not arrive fully formed. It grows through every decision you are brave enough to make. Your story holds power, especially the parts you once tried to hide, because those are the pieces that shaped you whether you realized it at the time or not. Every moment of doubt, every painful chapter, every quiet struggle, every disappointment, every small victory became a line in the story of who you are today. Most people believe their story only matters when it is polished or triumphant, but the truth is that the chapters you felt ashamed of are the ones that taught you the most. They carved your character. They strengthened your intuition. They uncovered your resilience. They showed you what you could survive and what you could rise from. And that is where your power lies, not in the perfect moments, but in the moments when you had every reason to quit and still chose to continue. There is a point in every life when you think your story is too broken, too messy, too complicated to be of any value. You think no one will understand what you went through, or you fear that speaking your truth will make you look weak, but hiding your story does not protect you. It limits you. The experiences you silence become heavy, and that weight follows you even when you try to move forward. Your story cannot heal you if you keep it locked away. It cannot empower you if you pretend it never happened. It cannot serve others if you refuse to acknowledge its meaning. When you embrace the full truth of your story without excuses, without fear, you the claimer that doubt once stole from you. The things you have survived are not evidence that life was unfair to you. They are evidence that you were strong enough to live through what would have broken many others. Every challenge became a teacher. Every setback became a redirection. Every heartbreak became a turning point. Every loss opened a path to deeper understanding. Even the moments that felt unbearable carried lessons you were not ready to see at the time. But as you grow, you begin to realize that nothing in your story was random. Everything served a purpose. Everything molded you into the person you are becoming. Your story matters because it contains the wisdom you earned through experience. It contains a voice that someone else might desperately need to hear. It contains the proof that transformation is possible even when the odds are against you. The moments that hurt the most often become the moments you speak about with the greatest confidence later, because they show how far you have come. When you look back, you begin to see that the pain was not the ending. It was the beginning of your rise. You do not have to broadcast every detail of your past. You do not have to share your story with everyone. But you must own it. You must claim it as part of your identity, not a stain on your life, but a source of strength. When you stop hiding the truth of where you have been, you stop hiding the truth of who you are. And when you stop hiding who you are, you step into a life that aligns with your soul instead of your fears. Your story is your power because it is irreplaceable. No one has lived your life. No one has carried your exact burdens. No one has overcome in the same way you have. This uniqueness is not an accident. It is the reason you can impact others in a way no one else can. Your story becomes a bridge, a guide, a light for someone who feels lost in their own struggle. It becomes a reminder that even in darkness, transformation is possible. So let your story live. Let it breathe. Let it speak. Let it rise in its fullness. You are not defined by the pain you experienced, but by the strength you discovered because of it. Every chapter has value. Every journey has meaning. Every part of your story holds power, especially the parts you once believed you needed to hide. Faith in yourself must be practiced, especially in the quiet moments when no one is watching and one is clapping and the world seems completely unaware of the battles you are fighting inside. It is easy to believe in yourself when life is flowing, when opportunities are opening, and when the people around you recognize your effort. But true faith is built in the unseen hours, in the spaces where it is just you, your fears, your doubts, and the small whisper of hope telling you not to give up. Self-belief is not something you wake up with fully formed. It is something you build slowly, intentionally, and consistently through choosing to trust your own voice, even when it feels faint or uncertain. There will be days when you feel like you are moving backward, when your progress seems invisible and your mind convinces you that maybe you are not capable after all. These are the days that matter most because faith is strengthened through resistance. Just like a muscle grows when it is challenged, your confidence grows when life tests it. When you keep showing up on the days you feel empty, you quietly teach yourself that you are stronger than your doubts. When you choose discipline over discouragement, you reinforce the truth that your future matters more than your fear. In these moments, you build a foundation of self-trust that cannot be shaken easily. Faith in yourself is also built by honoring your own voice over the noise around you. People will have opinions. Some will doubt your path. Some will underestimate your potential. Some will criticize your dreams because they cannot imagine themselves pursuing something so bold. You must not allow their limitations to become your reality. Your faith is not meant to be rooted in external approval. It must be rooted in the knowing that only you can feel your purpose fully. Only you can sense the direction your soul is pulling you toward. Only you can hear the quiet truth that lives inside your heart. That inner truth is your compass, and the more you practice trusting it, the stronger it becomes. Self-faith grows when you treat yourself with compassion instead of judgment. That many people destroy their confidence not because they are incapable, but because they criticize themselves relentlessly for every mistake. They forget that mistakes are signs of effort, not signs of failure. Every learning curve, every misstep, every setback is part of the growth process. When you allow yourself to fail without attacking your worth, you create an environment within yourself where belief can thrive. You give yourself permission to try again, to adjust, to grow. That grace becomes fuel for determination. Faith in yourself also requires patience because becoming the person you are meant to be does not happen overnight. Growth takes time, healing takes time, clarity takes time, mastery takes time. If you give up simply because the journey feels slow, you rob yourself of the transformation waiting on the other side of persistence. The universe does not rush your evolution. It unfolds in the timing that strengthens you. When you choose patience over frustration, your self-belief expands because you show yourself that you are committed to your future even when the results are not immediate. There are seasons where life will be silent, no recognition, no applause, no visible breakthroughs. And yet these are the seasons where you must practice believing in yourself the most. These are the seasons where your inner strength is built in silence. Every time you push forward without validation, you prove to yourself that your power does not come from the outside world. It comes from within. It comes from your ability to trust that you are capable, that you are deserving of the life you dream of. Self-faith is not a feeling, it is a practice, a decision, a daily choice to affirm your worth, your potential, and your direction. The more you practice it, the more it becomes part of who you are. You make that refuses fear's control. It emerges when you decide that your potential is more important than your comfort. It emerges when you honor your dreams more than your doubts. It emerges when you choose to take the step anyway, even with trembling hands and an unsteady heart. The moment you stop negotiating with fears is the moment you take back your power. It is the moment your life begins to align with your true self. It is the moment your determination becomes unshackable because you are no longer being held hostage by imagined limits. You realize that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision that something else, something brighter, something truer matters more. And once that realization comes rooted within you, no fear can ever stop your rise again. Here is the conclusion for the entire speech, written in the same tone, flow, and emotional depth as the rest.
Moving in the morning, even when the morning, your time, you can teach you made it strength, you reminded by John Field 5, and every tree of the the story, to keep every more of them, not sleeping, but could not see, but for to keep over the to trust the small person, this life, from natural ability, teaching you, if you Jesus, that heaven was a number of his good safety, may teach you that the pellet is in life, and
You make that refuses fear's control. It emerges when you decide that your potential is more important than your comfort. It emerges when you honor your dreams more than your doubts. It emerges when you choose to take the step anyway, even with trembling hands and an unsteady heart. The moment you stop negotiating with fears is the moment you take back your power. It is the moment your life begins to align with your true self. It is the moment your determination becomes unshackable because you are no longer being held hostage by imagined limits. You realize that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision that something else, something brighter, something truer matters more. And once that realization comes rooted within you, no fear can ever stop your rise again. Here is the conclusion for the entire speech, written in the same tone, flow, and emotional depth as the rest.
moving in the morning, even when the morning, your time, you can teach you made it strength, you reminded by John Field 5, and every tree of the story, to keep every more of them, not sleeping, but could not see, but for to keep over the to trust the small person, this life, from natural ability, teaching you, if you Jesus, that heaven was a number of his good safety, may teach you that the pellet is in life, and
Until one day you realize that the person who once doubted everything now stands unshackable, grounded, and confident, not because life became easier, because you learned to believe in yourself even when no one else did. The moment you stop negotiating with your fears, your entire life begins to shift, because fear is clever and persistent, and it will always try to convince you that, Vince, that you need more time, more certainty, more guarantees before you take the next step. Fear whispers that you should wait until the conditions are perfect, or until you feel stronger, or until someone else validates your direction. For years, many people remain stuck, not because they lack ability, but because they continue to bargain with their own hesitation. They keep giving fear a seat at the table, allowing it to influence every decision and shape every possibility. But the truth is, fear will never be satisfied. As long as you keep negotiating, it will always ask for more. It will demand that you shrink, that you delay, that you stay small. The moment you stop entertaining those demands, everything inside you begins to rise. When you stop negotiating with fear, you begin to hear a different voice inside you, the voice of your purpose, your intuition, the voice that has been quiet, leading beneath the noise. This voice is gentle yet steady, and it tells you that you already have what you need to begin. It tells you that you are capable of stepping into places you once thought were too big for you. It tells you that life is not asking you to be fearless, it is asking you to move despite the fear. And when you honor that voice, your confidence grows because you finally give yourself permission to live instead of waiting endlessly to feel ready. Fear often disguises itself as logic. It tells you that you should not try because you might fail. It tells you that you are not experienced enough, or talented enough, or deserving enough. It makes you imagine worst case scenarios while hiding the possibilities that are available if you simply choose courage. But once you stop negotiating, you start seeing fear clearly for what it is, an instinct rooted in old wounds, old patterns, and old limitations that no longer belong to the person you are becoming. We have. And once you see it clearly, you can refuse to let it dictate your actions. This refusal marks the beginning of empowerment. You start choosing differently. You start taking steps that once terrified you. You start speaking truths you once swallowed. You start showing up in rooms you once avoided. You start embracing opportunities that once felt unreachable. Each moment of courage builds on the previous one until strength becomes your new normal. And something remarkable happens. Fear loses its authority. It may still whisper, but it no longer controls. It may still appear, but it no longer decides. Your life becomes clearer the moment you stop negotiating with fear, because fear keeps you stuck in the past, but courage opens the door to your future. Every dream, every purpose, every calling waits on the other side of a decision that only you can make. When you decide that fear no longer gets to lead you, rewrite the direction of your life. You create the space for new experiences, new relationships, new achievements, new levels of self-respect. You shift from surviving to rising, from doubting to believing, from hesitating to becoming. There is a version of you that exists beyond fear, a version that is stronger, braver, wiser, and more capable than you imagine. That version is not created overnight. It emerges through every choice.